You know what cartoon I get the songs like stuck in my head from the most? If you had to guess.
I don't know. Steven Universe, I feel like, has some good songs, but I know Adventure Time too, but it's probably Over the Garden Wall.
It's not.
It's not?
It's not any of
them?
those. It's Phineas and Ferb.
Ah, that's a good answer.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of The Effects of Influencing. This week it is just Audrey and Jacob. Hate to disappoint you, but we are going to be talking a little bit about Addison Rae, a little bit less about Addison Rae, and a little bit more about Addison Rae's parents this week. Give me your basic background knowledge on like what you know about Addison Rae, just to start us off.
Well, I mean, I guess like any other TikTok user back when she got popular, like she just would come on my For You page a lot, and then there would be like this talk, oh, Addison Rae. And then she just like kept on getting a little more famous, and then she like, I guess, joined the Hype House and all that jazz. And then, I mean, I guess that was all. Like, I mean, I know she's got like some sponsorships and stuff like that, but I haven't kept up with her or her family much, so.
Yeah.
I just know about probably the average like TikTok user.
I feel like with people like Addison and like Charlie and like all those types of people who like do the dancey stuff and all of that, I like don't ever actually see any of their videos or even like clips of their videos. Like I just hear,
like even like the edits have like gone down.
Them.
Yeah, right. And then like the controversial ones.
I get like the clips of like, this is what they did in the news now, which is like kind of disgusting and hilarious and weird and all the things that, you know, like now it's like this news article is being written about this
girl
who dances on TikTok, which is, you know, I sound so fucking old saying that.
Right.
Being like, this dancey girl is in the news.
I know Charlie's
just darn
younger
social
than
media.
Us, though. Yeah, I think you're older than Charlie and Addison though.
Addison's 22.
Oh, is she?
She is.
Damn, I thought she was younger. Yeah.
I did too, actually. I saw a video one time of Addison, and it was like, Addison, and it was like, Addison Rae goes to my high school, and I don't think it was actually her, but I fully believed she was in high school.
Yeah. I mean, she like looks it, but that doesn't necessarily shock me. I just thought she was younger. Yeah.
So Addison has been dancing since she was 6 years old competitively, and she was like just doing national competitions and stuff like that. So she's been dancing for a long time. It's not anything new to her. Like she just didn't pick it up, which is funny because Charlie did too.
Yeah. Right.
So I guess it does take some more skill than people think it does to make it big for dancing on social media, just a little bit. So she was competing from a young age, brought it to TikTok, and I think in 2019 is when it like really started to take off. She had one semester or part of a semester at I think it was Louisiana State University.
I was gonna say, I thought it was LSU, yeah.
And she did one semester there, and then she decided to give it up and go out to LA to, you know, do social media and stuff like that. Because her account was starting to pick up, and I think it was July of 22, had 8.8 million followers, and was in July the 4th most followed account on TikTok.
Wow, okay.
So it escalated, I guess, quickly, but also it's been 3 years now. So she's made her name known, and she's like, you know, friends with Kourtney Kardashian, or was friends with Kourtney Kardashian. I haven't seen her.
I did pick up on that. Yeah.
I haven't seen them in a while, but I know that was a thing for a while, and that she was like really heavily influenced by like Kourtney and her lifestyle and things like that. And
now Charlie is like part of their family now.
Exactly. And they're all finding their way into the Kardashians, and I feel like that's
real like influencers.
And you know, we talked about the Kardashians on episode 1. There's a reason that like all these girls are like going to the Kardashians to try and like make those relationships and like get in with, you know, get in with that family, because they know how to brand. Like that's such a great family to be a part of in terms of like having
already established,
having like you under their wing. Oh, you have it made if the Kardashians want to help you.
Right. Yeah.
So
on that level.
Addison gave it up. She's made like some television and movie appearances and stuff like that. And she was in that Adidas advertisement. Is that it was Adidas that did the swimsuit. Yes. And it was Father, Son on the top and Holy Spirit on the back of the bikini.
I don't know what Adidas was thinking.
And and people, it was just outrageous backlash. It's like sometimes when I looked up Addison Rae obviously in preparation for this, and there was like still stuff about like Addison Rae hates Christians like in high up in the search. So it obviously really like pissed some people off.
Yeah, I mean, Adidas needs a new PR team. after that.
She kind of fell off for a while after
Yeah.
that. She wasn't really posting as much as if I recall correctly. Like she was just kind of like, she took it down a notch after that and was like kind of dealing with all of that, all of those issues with PR.
Yeah.
And at the same time, her parents started having more PR issues, which is like, oh, that's your inverse nightmare. You just had a PR issue, and then your parents are like really stepping it up with being dramatic, and not just like,
and very publicly,
and not even like, oh, Addison Rae's parents. It's like, no, now they've made their way onto social media themselves, and it's
Monty,
Sheri and Monty, and it's like, that's such a nightmare. It's like not even just like attached to you, but like they're their own people, and still like, it's all attached to you, but it's so much more out there.
Yeah.
So it all kind of like, it started, I mean, they started making appearances on Addison's social media, and then
I remember like one of her first videos was with Sheri, and like it was like I don't know, it was some stupid trend, but it was about like moms and daughters or something like that. So.
Yeah, exactly. And so they, Sheri made an account and has, I think, more followers than Monty, just to.
Okay. I thought you were about to say Addison. I was like, no.
No.
Because that'd be crazy.
No,
but gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense.
So they made their own accounts, and then, you know, some drama started, and just some background. Sheri and Monty were first married in, it was 2004, and then they split at one point, and then were remarried in 2017. And so they have like, their youngest son is 8, and they had been having issues like on and off throughout that whole time. Like obviously they were separating and like got back together, and it was probably really hard on the kids and hard on Addison because, you know, that's rough. And she was going to college when all of this was, getting ready for college, going to college when all like this was going on, and in high school, and that's already such a like horrendous time in your life for most people. I can't imagine having to deal with all of that with like family too. And so they ended up getting back together, and then were together when Addison decided to move out to LA, and Sheri ended up staying in Louisiana, and Monty went with her.
Okay, interesting.
Or at least that's how it is now. They might have all gone like initially to get her settled and all of that stuff, but I know that, you know, they have the younger sons. They didn't want to uproot the entire family all at once, and
Okay.
So in LA, Monty had an affair for a few months with a singer-songwriter, Renee Ash, who is 25, and she came forward in July of 22 saying that she had met his mom and like one of his brothers, and that he had said that he was, and said that he was like, that he'd promised her like marriage and babies, and
I saw that part,
and that he was like already divorced with his wife, like their marriage was already like completely over. They were just waiting for paperwork to go through and all of this stuff. And there was an alleged like pregnancy scare too. Yeah. And it came out, she found out obviously that they weren't done. And I'm not entirely sure if it's because like, you know, they'd already been having some issues or something, or if something came out about them or whatever. But she found out that it was not over between Sheri and Monty, and came public about it and was saying like, you know, I regret doing this. I was lied to. I was manipulated. I thought that we were going to have forever, and that he'd already left her, and I'm done with him.
Do you think doing that is effective, like coming public like that and like stirring up a family who has like children and stuff like that? Do you think she could have like handled that better?
I think that there's like, I don't know. That's such a, it's such a like,
well, just because like a lot of,
I guess that's true.
I just like, because the problem stems from like, I mean, not stems, but like, I guess became like public because of her in a way, you know, so.
And not to mention she's, you know, someone who's trying to gain a bigger following right now and stuff like that. And, you know,
and
how
now,
much
like,
of
known
that.
as like Monty's like side chick.
Exactly. So how
I'm sure
much
she's
of,
a great musician, but.
Yeah. How much of that is, you know, selfish, coming public and stuff like that, and trying to ruin him and get your moment in the spotlight.
And ruining not even just him, but like the family too, and like knowing Addison is like very public, and Sheri, and then knowing they have daughters. I mean, shoot, if she met his mother and his brother, like she had to know some stuff, and like I feel like could have handled that a little bit differently.
Yeah, and
that's a whole other conversation.
It just kind of makes it look obvious that it like, I don't know. There was some other stuff in it for her, like in terms of having that relationship and like eventually getting to that level. Which, like, girl, go. girl, go, like, get it. Like, I'm not even gonna, if there's like, if you're trying to be a pop star or whatever you're trying to do, and there's a single dad of one of the world's biggest influencers trying to hit you up, girl, go. I'm not even gonna hate on you.
No judge, just
but be mindful about the way you handle it, I guess. It's not, I'm never been in that position, never will be. So, I really don't know. And maybe she, maybe Sheri was doing some stuff that she didn't, or maybe, Sheri was doing some stuff saying some stuff to Monty that like we didn't know about, or had said some stuff that we don't know about that was like maybe really fucked up, and like that's what Monty shared with her, and like shared this like sad boy side of it when it like
and he might have been like misconstruing the truth like of him and Sheri's relationship to her.
Well, not even just that it was over, but like the details of it.
Exactly.
So then I would argue to say the more famous part of like this whole like debacle.
I guess that's true. Yeah.
Young Gravy enters the chat and is he makes a TikTok. It was like him looking through, I don't remember what it was, but I think it was him like looking at Sheri's videos or duetting one of her videos or something, and just like called her cute at the end of it or something. He flirted, whatever. And then Sheri ended up posting a video where it was like, let someone pick you, like this filter pick your next date, and then she like got when the result popped up, she like covered it with Young Gravy.
Oh, she like edited it in,
yeah, and so she was
That's
like
so corny,
flirting. I know, corny as hell.
You are 40 years old lady.
No,
go
for
take
real.
Care of your baby.
42.
42. My bad.
So like they started just like making videos back and forth, and Gravy kind of talked about it and said like, we were DMing and it was wholesome, and just like, making little videos back and forth and just being cute and like whatever.
Yeah.
And then they went to the VMAs together this summer, and
we all know how that went.
At this point, Addison had already unfollowed Monty, I think, because of the affair. Like she had already like unfollowed him on social media. I'm fairly sure. And after the VMAs, she unfollowed Sheri too.
And rightfully so. Like, I can't even blame Addison.
No, absolutely not. I mean, this was supposed to be her career moment. Right? This was supposed to be her big moment, and her parents hijacked that shit.
For sure.
I would be livid, so mad if my parents decided to take my moment in the spotlight when I, worked my whole life to have like, she worked hard at least to like keep up her skill set and stuff like that. And like you have to, I mean, say what you want to say about, having a social media presence. Shit's hard, dude, to like be popular. I mean, people get lucky every day, but like it's not
hard
easy
to maintain it.
It's not easy to maintain. It's not easy to make a career out of that. And she's made it happen for like the past 3 years for herself. And like to be getting to an age, like she's 22. She's finally getting to an age, starting to get to an age where people are going to be taking her seriously in her industry as well. Like, I mean, imagine being 18 years old, 19 years old, and showing up like, hey, I'm here to be a professional. Yeah. Like, okay, sure. Dancy girl from the TikTok app, sit the fuck down.
Yeah,
like
that is true.
So to finally be like, have spent 3 years in this industry and finally be getting to an age where people can respect her, and for her parents to just hijack that moment and take any kind of credibility she had away from her by making this family a fucking joke. I can't imagine how that feels.
I know, yeah.
So,
it's like a backstab.
And that's not even all of it. So then they're like, I mean, they kissed on the red carpet. They kissed several times.
I was gonna say I saw at least like 2 different times, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was
several times at the VMAs, and like it was on video, it was on pictures, it was everywhere, and like
they did it like on the red carpet, right? At least one of them.
For the paparazzi, and it's just like, I get it, Sheri, but what? But you were wrong for that.
Yeah.
Like, I get why you did it, but you were wrong for that, girl. Like, there's no...
Because when you do that, you take all your credibility away.
For her to have said, and I'm pretty sure it was something along the lines of when she responded to what Monty had done. She came out and said, my priority is to take care of my family, my kids.
Yeah.
And then to turn around and just, like, throw Addison's whole career, like, to the fucking wind. So that you can have your moment with a 27-year-old.
Yeah.
From what, like Wisconsin or something,
Who
or
knows?
Minnesota?
Yeah.
He's a hockey player boy from one of those. He's like.
Yeah, I don't know much about him.
Yeah,
I just know that he's tall.
Gravy's name is Matthew.
Yeah, checks out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But just to, say you're all about the family and all of this, and then just to throw it all behind you. So not only was Addison like now not talking to either of her parents, but now her dad's mad, one at Sheri and two at Gravy. So Monty goes on social media right after the VMAs, after like these pictures are coming out, and tweeted or it said something, I don't remember which app it was on. I think it might have been his Instagram story. At Young Gravy, like, thanks for taking the leftovers or something like that. And that's just the most ridiculous.
No, seriously. It's kind of funny.
How
but like,
old are you?
Yeah, grow up.
How old are you?
Yeah.
I'd be embarrassed if I knew someone who did that when I was like 16.
Right.
Like if I saw someone go and cry about something in that manner on social media, even at like 16, I would have been like, you're embarrassing.
Yeah. Like we all have some petty moments, but that's on another level.
But that's embarrassing.
Yeah.
And he just he would not let it go.
I know.
He would not let it go. And then I don't remember if this was before or after the VMAs, because I know it was either provoked by the public flirting or it was provoked by the VMAs, but he challenged Young Gravy to a boxing match.
I know this is not way off topic. I'm so sick and tired of seeing like boxing matches. I don't know what's been going on. I don't know who started, if it was Logan Paul and KSI, and like their fight has just like started like this revolution. That's too good of a word. This like, I don't know. It's like, what? I just don't get it. It's like, they risk their public profile even more after like half these people are already controversial in their own sense, and then they risk it even more and like are more like vulnerable, I guess, to like memes and like stuff like that, and they just still do it.
Let me tell you what it's
about. Yes,
please
please give me your insight.
It's men who don't know how to prove themselves in any other way than to try and like go grr, Does that make sense?
I guess that could
like
make sense.
It's dudes who can't understand that emotional intelligence like exists and it's a valuable trait.
Yeah.
And they're like the same dudes who think that girls like give a shit that they're in the gym getting jacked every day, and they don't realize that they're doing it for all the other dudes who are there watching them. Like,
that is low-key true.
That they're the guys who wonder why, you'd ever be with a skinny, like, little, like, nerdy man instead of, like, a big, buff, masculine guy.
Yeah, that is true.
And I've met guys like that, and, no one's impressed. So it's, like... And you know who watches those boxing matches? The boys. When are you gonna get a girl from being like, not that it's about like getting a guy or getting a girl or whatever, but like those are also the guys who complain about not getting girls for these reasons and like all of that. So it's the dudes who think that, the body is top priority, in my opinion.
Well, I feel like it's not even the body, it's like the lifestyle,
It's like not being able to like healthily express your emotions. On top of that, I was gonna say it's one like thinking that like this physical is more important than the mental, and you're not prioritizing like understanding yourself and the others and your emotions. So they're like, let's just all the time, and that's honestly how I feel about that. So that's my theory as to why boxing matches are a thing now, because dudes just want to like assert themselves physically instead of like ever trying to have like anything else.
Show talent or anything.
Yeah.
Which I guess some boxing, like pro boxers have talent.
Obviously has talent, but these dudes think that they can just like go hit the gym for like 6 months and then like go be like some hot shit.
Yeah.
And I'm here to tell you, I'm not impressed.
That's not how it works. And that's not how it works. Yes, I just wanted to give my little 2 cents on that. I'm so sick of that shit. So please, cut that shit out. Continue.
So Young Gravy said no, and so
someone smart.
There is no wrestling match to be had. We don't need to hate on Young Gravy because he's apparently not one of those guys.
Yeah.
And but he kept trying. It's not like he said it once. Like Monty made so many videos about this. And like posts about this and was just like, Young Gravy's weak. He's not shit. He won't fight me. And Young Gravy's like, I'm literally hanging out with your ex-wife right now.
You're a grown-ass man too.
I'm literally hanging out in your wife's living room. You were just upset.
Yeah.
Calm down. And it was so bad. And then he made a diss track.
To a rapper.
Yeah,
That's
to a
like asking for
rapper.
trouble.
What
Not saying
an
that Young
idea.
Gravy is like this like battle rapper and can take anyone down, but he obviously has an advantage.
No, yeah, what?
And he also has a following for this, to where like more people would stream his diss track anyway, if he were to release one.
No, but he's not ever going to care enough about Monty.
Exactly, and nor should he.
No, But I couldn't find this video anywhere. I looked for it for I swear to God at least 20 minutes, and I couldn't find it anywhere.
Yeah.
I couldn't even find
It
clips of it.
removed,
And
yeah.
I read articles saying like released with music video on like September something, and I'm like, where
With music video. Who
is
directed
it?
that?
And
That's what I
I
wanna know.
found one clip that Monty posted
Oh,
from
God.
it, and I want to show it to you. And it's just like, if this is the only thing I can get from this, I'm not gonna. Give me just a moment.
I am Michael Jordan, you are not Scottie Pippen. You cannot speak to me or my kids, cause we are A-listers, you cannot get in.
Speechless. That. Just-
What art?
What? First of all, he said that he's a celebrity A-lister, which he's definitely not. Not even close. He's lucky if he's like, if I'm being generous, C, but he's probably more like a D-list celebrity. Just because of his daughter.
I think D's high. I think D list is.
But I mean, I guess I would need like the like tier. Like what letter do we stop at, you know?
I'm stopping at Z.
Z. Oh, okay. So yeah, then if Z
That's
is the
where I'm
whole A to
putting
Z is the scale, then I'd say probably like
Call him Monty.
he's got to be in the like.
That was funny and you missed it.
Oh, what'd you say? Mont C. It's pretty good. Yes, he's just. Oh my God. He released this willingly.
And then apparently took
music
the music
video.
video down because I can't find it anywhere. And I think that's a real shame because, you know, probably a work of art, like that one clip. If that's all I get from it, I'm happy.
Crickets. Cue the crickets.
I thought it was hilarious.
I don't know how many streams it. I wonder if it's on like Spotify or anything. Probably not.
I
if it's
found the
not even
audio
on
version.
YouTube.
I just couldn't find the
Oh,
video.
you just can't find the music video. Weird.
Yeah,
Yeah, and that really pulls it together. So you'd have to see. The
I
music
saw
video, so-
someone watching it. Like I saw someone like reviewing it. I saw a video of that on Twitter, but I couldn't find the video itself. So I only like saw these clips, and that's the only one I saw that like Monty has posted.
Who was reviewing his music video? Were they like just giving like an update, or they were like critiquing it?
They were making fun of it for sure.
Okay. That's slides then.
They were
I thought they were like
absolutely-
seriously like, okay, so
No,
this like
someone
shot
was
is.
absolutely making fun of
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
But I think like overall, I don't have any other updates on that whole
Yeah.
beef besides like people saying that it's like widely speculated at this point that the Gravy and Sheri thing was all for PR and they were just kind of friends anyway.
But like,
And
I don't-
either way,
see, that
it
argument doesn't make sense to me though.
because of the Addison thing,
Well,
you
yeah,
think she
because
would
it's
know?
like, well, it's like, why would they even do it for PR when like their daughter is already like one of the top influencers on TikTok and is well known and like in our generation and probably
Sheri wanted
millennials.
her moment.
Like, girl, wait. Like, damn. You can do this PR stunt whenever, but just like chill.
But
I
like
don't
chill
know, I
for
just don't
half a
get it.
second because your daughter is going
Yeah,
through it
'cause
right
it's like
now.
it's not a good like PR stunt. It won't bring positive PR. It'll bring, I guess, press, which any press is good press, but
But it
not
will
when
bring the
it's
bitches
affecting
who are
your
like,
daughter and your
"Ooh,
family
bitch,"
and
like,
stuff.
"Ooh,
I
get
guess,
it."
but I don't know. I feel like
Go
the
out there, get your
backlash
shit after
ratio,
that breakup, like-
the backlash to like those kind of fans is like the ratio is lopsided.
Yeah.
I just don't. Yeah.
You hope not to have too many of those, I suppose.
All right.
But it's just so odd to me that her parents have had no issue hijacking that spotlight from her. When, you know, we can like shit on Addison all that we want, like about like, oh, the whole like influencer, like whatever.
Yeah,
Like,
like being like privileged and like having like an easier road to like influencing and stuff like that. But
yeah. But that's even our perception of her from what we have seen.
That's
and
true.
that's what I was going to say is like, you know,
you never
everybody's a person. We have no idea who this girl is. Regardless, like she's obviously has the brain to make the choice and felt confident enough in that choice to like leave school
and sustain herself too.
and and get herself out there and
It does
everything.
take
And
guts.
like while she's had her parents help, like they obviously, I mean, Sheri was like working in like for engineering at some point. I don't know.
Weird.
And then also did like photography, and then Monty was like a real estate manager. So like her parents like were
Well
fine.
off, yeah.
But they weren't like in a place where they can just we'll just give you like a couple $1,000s and send you to LA. Like she really like was, I think, emotionally relying on her parents for this like a lot the past couple of years. It seems like they've gotten closer.
Yeah.
Like I mean. not that I knew what their relationship was like before,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
they seemed fairly close before all of this happened. And like, I can imagine that an experience like this would bring a family together. And it sucks to see that like, maybe she was, you know, just really needing some parents at that point, and they could not just stop being
getting wrapped up in like trying to be
in their
an
own
influencer
stuff
as well. Yeah, it's very selfish and like.
And I guess
good
that's one of the effects of influencing,
Well,
is
yeah,
that your whole
yeah.
family gets dragged into it. And
Yeah.
like, you have to trust your people enough to know that they can handle it too. And that's something that people probably don't think about either, is like, if I'm gonna go and I'm gonna do this, like, who's coming with me and who can I trust to come with me? Because like, shoot, I'd bring my mom,
Yeah.
but you'd hope that like, you know, your mom wouldn't do some dumb shit to ruin your potential career. Like, who knew that she would take off the way that she did, get the opportunities that she has? And, you know, while I'm sure that they have not completely ceased, it's definitely like changed a tide in the way that people look at her and look at that family and like feel about her. And I can't say that it's entirely her fault.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I think for the majority, it's like especially just like with the way people view the family, I don't think it's on Addison for the most part.
I would
People
agree.
understand that Addison is a 22-year-old who's pretty and, you know, has found a way to market herself. And I think that's respectable.
Yeah.
But the way that her parents have been acting is absolutely not.
It's disrespectful.
Entirely
Addison.
agree.
But like also just to each other. Like even like regardless
To the
of what
time
like,
that they spent together, to the family
Yeah.
that they have.
Exactly, like regardless of what relationship like you have and like what your history was, like you should still like be able to co-parent. And like I guess they weren't even co-parenting because they were still like on and off, but like still have this relationship where like your focus and like your priority is like your daughter, not like getting back at each other like a couple of middle schoolers would, you know?
Exactly. And, you know, I think that's all that I really have to say on that, beyond just to reflect once more. You know, we'll never understand what it's like to be in these people's shoes, but you sure should note if you want to go into something like this, or like if you're, you know, this is something that you're interested in learning about, like who comes with you is like, I guess this is just a life lesson. The people who you surround yourself are going to make or break you.
Yeah.
And that's just on a really big scale when people are in this kind of position. And
Well, just in life in general, but especially that.
you just have to respect
when
that.
your whole life is like on, everyone knows your whole life, you know?
Yeah, and you have to be understanding of like when things fall through for people, and like when people fall through for people, and not, you know, not try and dwell on that or put that on somebody, and just understand that, you know, life is life.
Yeah.
Even if you have a following, even if everything seems perfect, because it's not, and that's unrealistic.
Yep.
And I think that's kind of where I'm at this point in, you know, in the program, is just getting to a point where we can understand that like all of these people, despite like where this has brought them, they're people on a journey nonetheless. And if you think about them aside from a platform, they're somebody's like family, friends, and all of that. So I'm going to close this one out by just saying, you know, try and be understanding, try and be respectful, and, you know, you never know what these people are going through, and, you know, be mindful when you're online. And we will see you guys next time. Thank you. Oh, wait, my hip locked up.
Oh no.
Oh!
Somebody get the chiropractor. Oh, that leg's stanky. Get that out of here. Get that out of here. It's stank.